So some of us might be feeling like we're going through a big karmic change, a big shift in our lives. I think it's kind of hard not to see that it's happening throughout the whole world. But when we start to get really quiet and noticing and becoming the observer of our own world, I think everyone is feeling this big dramatic shift of leaving the age of Pisces and wandering into the age of Aquarius. Let's talk about that today. So today I wanted to take a minute to share some insight about the cosmic changes that are happening to everybody on the planet. Doesn't matter if people realize it. Obviously, somebody's listening to this, you're realizing that there's massive change going on, and it's been going on for a while, right? But I want to talk about the age that we're leaving, which is the age of Pisces. And why I want to talk about it is it really has an impact of how we can move forward into the age of Aquarius, which I feel just energetically that we're kind of in between both. Like we've got one foot in Pisces and one foot just starting to land into Aquarius. We're not even one step established in it, right? That will take quite a while for us to feel our way through it. So the importance of understanding where we were and where we're going. You know, we've been taught that we have to learn our history in order not to repeat it. Never been a big fan of hearing that, because I think a lot of the times what's happened is in the age of Pisces, not only was it the age of love and finding things that you were really passionate about, and it was the unveiling of intuition, although that was really kind of stifled because of fear of the power that people would have if they trusted their intuition instead of looking at the outside world going inward. And that's what all the great masters were describing to us in their own individualistic ways. And as the age of Pisces, secrets is still a big aspect of it. Like, the Piscean energy is that, like, you can still harbor secrets, you can harbor addictions, you can harbor even false values that you have for yourself, or that your country might have, or your culture, or your religion, or your spirituality. But all of that, as you know, has been coming to a head, and pretty dramatically, which it needs to, right? Secrets all need to be revealed. And that's how you can tell we're really at the end of the age of Pisces, because we're finding out more and more depths of secrets that have been happening that have a major effect some way or another. One of the big vast news that's been going on in the last couple of years has had a major effect on you, right? And so, of course, what we do with that information is the most important thing. You know, at first we have to go through all of our emotions, and we can't stifle the emotions. Emotions are here for a purpose, and they give us an avenue in which we get to honor and express our own individual look and impact of the news that we've just received, or that we've heard about, or we've learned. And it also gives us space to listen to ourselves. Emotions show up in the body. They're not an outside existential thing. They are an inside thing. It's an inside job. And as we know, in Pisces, we've all been taught one way or another that, you know, the answers come from within. They're not in the mind. They're in the actual physical body. And so I think that there's been a beautiful effort and charge for people to understand more about themselves. I think that's why meditation has become so big. Intuitive training has become so big, because we kind of lost that aspect of ourselves in this age. And I'm not going to go back into where that came from, because that's not really important anymore. I think what's important is to understand where we're headed now, and to help ourselves stabilize the information that we get so that we could feel confident, because with each news event that comes up, again, some are going to be jarring to us. Some of them are going to be, well, yeah, I saw that coming, knew that was happening. But all in all, I think for all of us, I don't care how much we all have been working within ourselves, there's news sometimes that really hits us, probably because there's something within it for ourselves. And that's what emotions do. They give us an opportunity to pause and just be with it without judgment of it, without telling it's wrong, without telling it's bad. And even with anger, you know, there's a lot of anger and venting that goes on, especially with our young people. Is what I'm seeing is that they've got anxiety, and sometimes that anxiety is because of their sensing of something coming, and or they haven't dealt with previous situations in their past. And sometimes that can evolve into anger. It'll tip the scale into like this thrashing out. So let's talk about the Age of Aquarius, because that's where we're headed. So what do we do with all of this information? Like, great to know all that, Michelle, but like, what do we do with it? And I think we're all still sifting and sorting. I mean, if you look at the skies and study astrology, you know, we're all talking about, you know, the changes of what Pluto does. And Pluto dives deep, and it's still sitting in what we call Capricorn, which is kind of institutions and governmentals and religions, things that have power over people. And, you know, I'm encouraging people to take a look at, where are you feeling like you're maybe overdoing it with your power? Where are you doing that you're not showing up enough in your power? Power play is big right now. Sorry, my camera is tipping. Power play is really big right now. And so being mindful, because we're going to start to witness some more of that, I think, culturally and within all of, you know, the continents, everybody on the globe. But the Age of Aquarius is innovation, and we're already seeing it. We're already seeing innovation. We're seeing where people are thinking outside of the box. They're thinking for the greater whole of humanity. There are a lot of voices out there doing this, by the way. We just don't see them on general public, you know, TV or cable or whatever. You have to kind of search for it, but boy, it's there. It is so much more prominent than it was even 5 years ago. People are being seen and heard for doing things for the collective whole that empowers everyone, that helps people live out their dreams. And one of the reasons that I've been so excited about human design is because as we go through this change into the world of Aquarius, it gives us an opportunity to learn and invest in ourselves, and that we all don't function energetically the same way. And it gives us all permission to see everybody as uniquely as you see yourself. But most of us have just been wrapped up into, this is what you're supposed to do in the world, go do it. Whether it's been conditioned in you as a small kid, or if it's been conditioned because culturally that's what we're supposed to do, it doesn't really matter. But it's this idea that we're breaking free from those chains. And we as the people have an opportunity to set down now new ground rules for ourselves, not for anyone else around you. That is what's been harboring all of us back, is that we think we have to follow the rules that everyone has told or trained us to do. And that's what we're breaking free of. Those are the chains. And that's what I'm seeing in my head. I keep seeing golden chains just kind of being shackled. Our shackles are being freed. But that can feel very panicky for a lot of people, like to not have these rules and these guidance systems and people coming in to tell us how to do things. There are still many, many things in my life. You know, don't ever think that some teacher out there has got it all together, because no one does. And there are many chains that I'm trying to break myself, that I'm realizing, God, I'm still dependent upon that person, place, or thing to give me permission to be who I am. So that we're just in the baby stages of this. I mean, there are some people who are way beyond it and have broken the shackles. More than likely, their star might be in the Age of Aquarius already, right? So I'm saying this to all of us because as we keep going through sifting and sorting through this great new shift in our planet, in Mama Earth, that hold steady, get to know yourself, whether it's through human design or some other avenue. Just go learn more about yourself, not what people have told you, what you've been planning, not your past memories. Everybody's intuition, and I've stated that for years. Everybody's empathic and everybody has intuition. It's just different levels and different ways. And for some people, they've been told it's bad. It's a bad thing to trust that. That's just a control tactic. It is a fear-mongering tactic. Whatever you consider larger than life that governs everything, I don't believe it is a vengeful type of thing. You were created here to experience life to the fullest for you. And when you do that, it helps the rest of humanity. So go find your gifts, your talents, and your intuition, and get ready for some new awareness to pop up. Hold your light, because the world needs your light. And how do you hold your light? By knowing how it is and what it is that you truly desire right now. Because it's probably changing, and that's okay too. We get to know our blueprint. We get to know who we really are and express it without mandating it on other people to change. You get to change within yourself with no permission from anyone and no expectations that that they have to follow your way. That's like the freedom of Aquarius. We all get to do it in our own individual way. Many blessings to you all. If you have any questions, just leave them below.